Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. This is your update video as we are now in the midst of the international break, and we've got England. I think they're playing tomorrow. I'll be honest, am I bothered? No. To be honest, look, I knew England were going to be playing against Italy, and I knew they were going to be playing against Ukraine. I actually forgot or did not know, right, that it was tomorrow. I had it in my head that sometime on the weekend, somewhere there, like I had it in my head, but I wasn't sure that it was actually tomorrow. So it's, yeah, England, Italy. Are we bothered? No. We'll see what happens anyway. It is a qualifier for the Euros. We do expect England to show up for the Euros anyway. It's an expectation, so yeah. We move. So I'm going to keep giving you updates in terms of club football and what is going on, and not just Chelsea, because there are other things going on, and it can get quiet when you're talking about just one club. So at the end of this video, there is news about a certain other fairly big club where things are happening and they're going down the same route that we went down. Yeah, we'll get to that at the end. Before we get kicking off with everything, starting off with Chelsea, I want to let you know, make sure you hit the socials. Links are in the description. Twitter and Instagram are there, as well as my second channel, as I've already been saying to you guys, relaunching very, very soon with brand new content consistently. That will be coming in the next, maybe the next couple of days, tops, I reckon. The first video will be uploaded. So make sure you guys are there for that if you are into me talking about other generic stuff rather than just football. So make sure you're there. Let's get cracking. Chelsea Football Club. We're going to start off. There's a few things to discuss, including Todd Boehly's vision and Chelsea's brand new umbrella. Manchester City have the City Group, and they've got New York City, they've got Melbourne City, they've got other cities in part of the City Group where they've got clubs under their umbrella or part of the same umbrella. Chelsea, Todd Boehly are looking to do the same thing, and we've got news in terms of the Portuguese direction of this umbrella, so we'll get to that. But starting off with a banner. You're probably thinking, what banner? A banner? No, not the Wenger out banner that became so infamous in terms of all banners that exist in football. But there's a banner that exists at Chelsea that belongs to Ray Wilkins, right? Ray Wilkins, who had passed away not long ago, has his own banner, right? And the banner reads, "They don't make him like Ray anymore." Right? Ray, who was a player for Chelsea, was involved in the management, not as the manager, but assistant management, and was part and part coaching for Chelsea Football Club, was a massive advocate for Chelsea on the punditry, on TV, and was proper Chelsea, literally proper Chelsea. If we're going to say proper Chelsea, Ray Wilkins was proper Chelsea, to the core. And till his final day, lived and breathed Chelsea Football Club. Now, there's this new TV show, right? Or it's an old TV show. I'm going to be honest, I don't watch it, right? Ted Lasso. And I think it's part of the Apple TV subscription. If you do have Apple TV, you can watch it. Or if I don't know if it's part of any other subscription-based service, but Apple TV for sure. And it's about this. You've definitely seen the clips of Graham Potter talking about having to face some sort of AFC Richmond FC, right? With this footballer who had played for Chelsea in the past and is a club legend apparently, like a Frank Lampard, yeah. And I'll get to that in a sec. But Graham Potter done this thing where he was, previewing the game against Richmond, and then Loftus-Cheek done one earlier today. I saw it, and that was actually quite funny. Have to say about Graham Potter, that was too scaringly accurate in terms of how his actual match previews go. It makes me begin to think that everything he says in a match preview is just him, on the fly and trying to improvise of anything that he can possibly say, because the way that he done it for this Richmond game was identical. And just to clarify for you guys, they don't exist. This Richmond team doesn't exist. It's all a TV show. But this TV show have liaised with the Premier League. And the Premier League have done this thing where I don't think it's just going to be Chelsea, but I think other clubs will end up joining this thing soon. We remember when Mourinho done a little thing with Ted Lasso and the phone call skit, I think a couple of seasons ago, or it was last season, I'm not sure. But it's a TV show where they are linked with all of these Premier League teams now, including Chelsea now. And this player, as I've said, who's a Chelsea legend, right, is coming back to Stamford Bridge to play with his current team, Richmond. And it's all part of the TV show. Now, what the TV show done is modify the Ray Wilkins banner. And let me show you. They modified the Ray Wilkins banner to this. So this is the actual banner, but instead of "they don't make them like Ray anymore," The TV show Ted Lasso modified it to they don't make him like Roy anymore. Roy being the name of this fictional player that plays for Richmond that used to play for Chelsea, right? Now, a lot of people have seemed to find this very disrespectful. And I completely understand where they're coming from. Do I personally think it's disrespectful? I would say it depends. If there was no approval, because we actually don't know, if there was no approval from, for example, Ray's family, if Chelsea were not aware, then yeah, you could say it is just disrespectful. There's no approval, there's nothing. They've just gone and changed something which was implemented there at the ground because of Ray's death. It was Ray Wilkins' death that enabled this banner to come into fruition. It was a tribute to him. It was something that the fans had organised in cohesion with Ray's family to bring this banner to the bridge and display it week after week, right? And it's there. It's at the bridge. This TV show have taken it and changed the name. So I completely understand the sentiment where many people have not been very happy, and the Chelsea Supporters Trust have come out and spoken about this, and they've said this. R.E. Ray Wilkins banner. This is a banner paid for by supporters to commemorate a Chelsea legend, Ray Wilkins. Many supporters have seen this edit to be disrespectful, and we have expressed our disappointment to club officials. We expect that CFC will address this in due course. Now, I have to say, I've seen many people attack Chelsea today, right? That have disagreed with the banner, that have gone and said, Chelsea are a disgrace, Todd Boehly, what's going... I have to be honest here, yeah? I can't take that sentiment. Why? Because there's a good chance that Chelsea didn't even know about this. Right? You have to acknowledge that. Why? Because it's not Chelsea's decision for this TV show to modify the banner. It's this TV show that have Premier League rights to do what they want with any footage that they have. They don't need to go through Chelsea to modify this. Or any Stamford Bridge or Chelsea footage that they have is not down to Chelsea. It's down to the Premier League. So if anyone does actually want to throw anything at anyone, right, because of this banner, you want to go to the Premier League, not Chelsea. Now, as I've said, we actually don't know yet. This is the thing. We don't know. I'm not saying protect Chelsea 100% here. What I am saying is what we don't know is, did Chelsea know or not know about this? If they knew about this, then yeah, at this point you can start looking at Chelsea and you can go, what are you guys doing? And if they didn't know about this, they didn't have to know about it. The Premier League have rights given to this TV show to do what they want with any footage that they receive. So it's at that point you have to be realistic. Now, some people are saying it's not that big of a deal. It's a banner and they've changed it for a TV show. Big deal. I have to say, the one most important thing, right, in this whole saga would be to actually go and check, is Ray Wilkins' family cool with this? Because that's the most important thing here. If they're cool with this, everyone should be cool with it, as far as I'm concerned. If Ray himself would have looked at this and appreciated it, or looked at this and laughed at it, then at that point, it's not that big of a deal. If his family are looking at this and going, no, it's fine. We reckon Ray would have been, cool with it, and we're cool with it. If they say they're cool with it, then everyone, you can be cool with it. If they're offended, if they're not happy, because it's Ray's family, if they're not happy, then at that point you can be like, this is ridiculous. They're not happy. It's their right. It's their right to speak up and go, hey, we don't want anything changed with that banner, right? Because it's our family member. It's our Ray. So we should honestly check with Ray's family before anything. Before anyone starts taking shots or anything at anybody. Go and check if Ray's family are approving of this, and if they are, then great. And if they're not, then at that point, yeah, aim at the Premier League and then find out if Chelsea knew about it. So yeah, that's something that has to be said. More news in relation to Graham Potter. Brighton's published accounts show Chelsea paid £21.5 million for Graham Potter, thought to be a world record compensation fee for a manager. Honestly, unbelievable. We actually paid £21.5 million to get Graham Potter from Brighton. People thought Roman Abramovich was crazy for spending compensation. We paid the compensation before we hired the manager. That's that does something. Honestly, that's something quite massive. But yeah, 21.5, and then you look at his staff. Oh man. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes for the rest of the season. After the international break, we have a lot of football to play, and that's going to speak volumes. That's going to tell us exactly what we need to know and exactly where we are in terms of Graham Potter, the club, the way that we're playing, and the rest of the season. So there's that. Now, talking about the umbrella, let's get into this umbrella that Chelsea are trying to build. Todd Boehly is trying to go to Portugal and acquire a couple of Portuguese clubs. Here it is. The latest, Jorge Mendes is doing the research for Boehly for clubs in Portugal. Rio Ave and Moreirense are under evaluation right now. We continue this with, after having a bid rejected to buy Portimonense, Chelsea have consulted with Jorge Mendes over clubs to consider in Portugal, and he is now tasked with finding alternative options. And then today's news is Jorge Mendes is in the initial process of prospecting clubs, having studied with greater attention, for example, Rio Ave and Moreirense. The idea, however, is to analyse other options in the coming weeks. Now, we've already acquired Strasbourg of France. Apparently we wanted to buy Lyon. I mean, that's quite big, I'm not going to lie. If Chelsea pulled that off, then that would have been ridiculous if we had pulled off to get Lyon. But we couldn't. We couldn't get Lyon. I don't think we could have got another French club. But we ended up getting Strasbourg, it seems. So Strasbourg, it seems like, will be one of, if not the first club under the new Chelsea umbrella. And we're going to be acquiring a Portuguese team. And we're going to be looking elsewhere as well. So we'll see what happens there. Let me know your thoughts in relation to all of that. Because, look, if I have to say something, in the long term, this is a very good thing. Very, very good thing for Chelsea, for the brand, for acquisition of players, to get around certain transfer regulations, another loophole, perhaps. Because if you're getting players from within your umbrella, within your group, you can do what Frank Lampard did with Manchester City and Chelsea. Do you remember when Man City came to Lamps? Well, New York City got Lampard, didn't they? And then Man City were like, oi, send him on loan. Just a loan deal. Send him. Yeah? And then they got Frank Lampard without having to actually pay a penny. Why? Because they're in the same group. We could end up doing similar things. We really could. But not with, players that are reaching the end of their careers. But we could do things with up-and-coming talents. We could, find ways to be able to get them into the group and then utilise players that way. We could use the umbrella to be able to nurture young players and to see which players are at which level and throw them into this club without basically having options to get young players playing their football without having to actually sell them, or just loan them out and hope for the best, but they're within the group. So very, very good thing, and for scouting and for acquiring talent. It's going to turn into a very, very good saga, I reckon, for Chelsea Football Club. We'll see how big the umbrella is going to blossom into. Now, the last topic of the video, we have to talk about this, even though it's Manchester United. As I said, the big club from earlier on, well, they're in the middle of a bidding process, just like Chelsea were, and they're starting to get to the latter stages now. So here's the latest to do with Manchester United and the top two bids that they're going to be getting from a certain Jim Ratcliffe and the other one, Qatar. Here it is. So Fabrizio yesterday put Sheikh Jassim feels still very confident on his bid to buy Manchester United for full ownership. So Ratcliffe's Ineos group will also bid again after positive talks last week. Deadline for second bids tomorrow at 9 p.m. UK time. Then it will be up to the Glazers again. Well, we've got the update this evening. Qataris Sheikh Jassim and Sir Ratcliffe's Ineos group will both send revised bids for Manchester United as deadline will be respected. Plan confirmed, waiting for the next steps and Glazers family to decide. Listen, apparently the bids will be in excess of 5 billion, which is expected. Some people are looking at Chelsea and going, 4 billion, what was it, 3.75, 4 billion? Manchester United are a bigger football club, we have to be honest. They bring in much more revenue, they are more established, and they are, I think, one of the most expensive clubs in the world, so it's absolutely normal. A bid is going to be in that sort of region, but £5 billion for a football club is huge. Who do we want as rival fans, this club going to? Definitely Jim Ratcliffe, because Jim Ratcliffe apparently isn't willing to pay off all the debt. He's happy apparently to give a share to the Glazers. That's the latest. We don't actually know how the final bid will be put in. We'll see after today. But Qatar, it seems like, are happy to wipe out the debt. Here's the money. Here's the bid. Give us the club. 100% control. We have the cash. Manchester United are going to be dangerous if they go under that. Honestly, they are going to be dangerous next season if Qatar do buy them. If Sheikh Jassim does end up buying Manchester United, this is going to get very tasty. Next season, Ten Hag, with all that backing, you'd look at Chelsea, we've got financial power, but damn, Newcastle are going to up their game for sure. It's going to be a very interesting fight at the top of the table, I reckon, or at least in terms of the money and the transfer market. You're going to see some crazy transfers, I reckon. So we'll wait and see what happens, but that's the latest. The two bids that are going to be taken into consideration seems like it's going to be Qatar's Sheikh Jassim and Sir Jim Ratcliffe, and we'll see what happens. Let me know your thoughts on that, and who would you rather Manchester United goes to as a rival fan, and if you are a Manchester United fan, who do you want your club going to and why? Let me know in the comments, much appreciated, and I will see all of you tomorrow. Now, to end very quickly, to all the Muslims watching, Ramadan Kareem, Ramadan Mubarak to all of you. It does seem like it is going to be Ramadan tomorrow, so tons of blessings and health to all of you in terms of fasting, and I hope it's going to be, it does tend to be easy. I think a lot of people think it's really, really, really difficult. It's actually not as hard as it looks, but I hope it goes very smoothly for all of you, and let's see how it goes. Much appreciated for watching. Hit the subscribe button if you are new, hit the notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded, smash like button if you have enjoyed this, and I will see all of you tomorrow for a brand new upload. I'll see you then. Have a good one, people. See you tomorrow. Take care and peace.